Yo, welcome back. If you're listening somewhere around the world, Caesar is under investigation. No, I'm joking.
That's why I've escaped to Barbados on a beach.
Please contact your local detectives to find out if he's wanted in your area.
Do
Because,
not get me deported, please.
yes, please, we got to get him out of here. We made it podcast episode 270. Anybody?
Four.
Five.
Ooh, four. Caesar got it. Let me get that Portuguese, Caesar.
274.
Let me get that French, Holly.
Yeesh.
Let me get Trudeau to get that French. All right, Caesar went to the beach. If you're watching on YouTube, Caesar went off to the tiki bar. Anyway, stupid. We made a podcast episode 274. We got a lot to talk about today. Not too much actually, but a little bit. Kind of a lot. We're gonna do some Champions League recaps. We might talk about Holly's favorite striker, Erling Haaland of Scandinavia. We're gonna hopefully talk a lot about the report that just came out from I don't know if I want to say NWSL or just women's soccer in general in America. And then maybe we'll talk a little bit about what Ukraine's got cooking over there. But how's everybody doing? Holly, how you doing? You seem kind of stressed. You good? What's going on?
I'm not stressed. I'm good.
You seem kind of angry. Is somebody bothering you?
She was trying to cop one of those AC Milan Lettermans and she didn't get it in time, so they're gone. That's why she's stressed.
I was a little pissed. That's probably why they lost, because I wasn't rocking it today.
R.I.P. Virgil. You know what I mean?
Yeah, R.I.P. Virgil.
Kanye was hating on him.
I'm very close to Canada right now, but on America's side.
He is kind of
not the good part, but just
the good part.
Yeah, I'm in a state that's close to Canada, but it's rough.
He's in a state that borders Canada.
Yeah, I'm in one of the worst states on this side of America.
Yeah. He's in the worst state that borders Canada.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. I can agree with that. Yeah.
It's Idaho.
Yeah.
Idaho?
Yeah, hopefully you've never heard of it. That'd be great.
I have heard of Idaho.
Like, not for good reasons. Yeah, I'm here, and it's rough. As reported, it sucks.
If you want to know something about Idaho, look up a Ruby Ridge. But anyway, yeah, Caesar's out of the country basically right now. And so everybody's good. Caesar, you chilling?
I'm chilling on the beach in Idaho. We're living good, safe and healthy, and banned. We're just doing our thing.
Okay. And Holly is somebody's bothering out there in Toronto. You know what I mean? Let us know. We'll pull up.
Yeah, Holly's out there in the T-dot right now.
You know
yeah. I mean? Yeah, no, I'm good. Everything's good.
Holly, do you listen to any local Toronto rappers?
No.
You don't listen to.
What I do.
You don't listen to Top 5?
No.
Have you ever
Top
heard of
5? No.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a local Toronto rapper.
Yeah, he's a little local Toronto drill rapper.
Drill. Okay.
You like drill? You might fuck with him.
I do. Maybe I'll check.
Well, he doesn't do like drill music, but he talks about sliding on the ops. And I think he's out of jail now. I think he's out of jail.
3 top 5.
Top 5.
Toronto. The Wallat Boys, no? Over there in Rexdale.
It's spelled top 5.
Yeah. He's out there doing his thing. You know what I mean? You're running, sliding on the ops and all that.
He was charged with murder.
Wait, did he get out though?
I don't know.
Okay, I think he's out.
I think it's innocent until proven guilty.
Oh, it's like that's a bit much for me.
I'm just trying to read it.
You don't like murder rap? Damn, okay.
Anyway, before we go into a Canada tangent over here, let's talk about Champions League. On Tuesday, we had some games. I think I was the only one that watched any games on Tuesday. Yes. Well, of course, I watched the most exciting matchup of the day. The one that probably everybody in the world that loves Champions League was like, I can't wait for this matchup. Olympique Marseille versus Sporting Lisbon.
I knew you were going to say that match.
playing with no fans in Marseille. I don't even know why. But it was a good match. Sporting, what was it? Trincao scored in like the first minute.
Trincon.
He scored like in the first minute. I was like really bothered. But then Marseille obviously came back. They won 4-1. Alexis Sanchez scored a goal. The goalie was kicking it out, like a goal, like not a goal kick, but he was like trying to like kick it out. And Alexis Sanchez threw that leg up there, and it hit his leg and went in the goal. I was like, okay.
How did you get to work out there?
He's doing his thing a little bit. Who else scored? Amin Howard scored off a really nice Jonathan Klaus cross, nice header. Somebody else scored, but Mbemba had a really nice goal where he like it was like kind of a scramble, and the ball came to him, and he like pump faked it once and then shot it. I was like, okay, you don't really see too many center backs doing that, but he's kind of bad though. Yeah, Marseille won 4-1. They're back in the mix a little bit. We also had another big match, Inter versus Barcelona, which I like kind of watched. I didn't watch like the whole thing, but I like kind of watched it. Inter won 1-0. There was a very controversial non-call on a handball late in the match. I think it was a handball. I don't know why they didn't call it, but it's hard to know like what's going on with handballs these days. Like, to my knowledge, if the ball hits another part of your body and then hits your hand, it's not a handball. But I've seen that called, and I can't remember which game I was watching today, where the ball hit the dude's foot and like popped up and hit his whole arm and like knocked it up, and like just it's like he dribbled it and they didn't call it. I was like, okay. But I've seen the ball like go off somebody's thigh and then hit his arm like randomly and they call it. So I don't know. It was very controversial. People were mad about it. Either way, Barcelona lost 1-0. Bayern won 5-0 against Victoria Pilsen. Porto won 2-0 against Bayer Leverkusen, who then fired their manager, and then they got Xabi Alonso today. We'll see that not work. Also, another big matchup. You know, I kind of wanted to watch this match, but I didn't. But and I guess I just learned how to pronounce this. I thought it was Club Bruges, but it's Club Brugge against Atletico Madrid. Club Brugge won 2-0, and there was like a funny Griezmann missed a penalty, like hit it off the crossbar. Like it was kind of funny on the replay. Like he hit it hella hard off the top crossbar, and he like flew behind him and he like turned around. I was like, that's kind of funny actually. Then he like scored after that, but then it was offsides. Griezmann was such a bum. I feel like Holly likes him.
No, not anymore.
Yeah, there you go. I had some sympathy for Griezmann, and then he like did that whole blackface, like not even just blackface, he did his whole body trying to dress up like a Harlem Globetrotter. I'm like, dog, I don't know what you rubbed on your whole body, fool.
Man, when he went to Brad Tar Pits.
like, come on, dog. Like, blackface is bad, but you did your whole body, and then, but then I felt some sympathy for him because his sister, when they had that terrorist attack during the match in France, his sister was there, and she almost got shot and killed. So I was like, that's really sad.
Yeah.
But then he went to Barcelona, and he was really bad, and he had to admit that he can't dribble. And I'm like,
that's one of the weirdest things I've ever heard.
I'm like, dog, I can't dribble. Like,
I wouldn't even say it though. I wouldn't talk about it.
I'm like, you're so bad. Like, I can't dribble. I think I look stupid when I dribble, so I don't want to. Griezmann, you're a professional. Like, come on, dude. Anyway, Atleti lost. Then we got Ajax versus Napoli. Napoli's out here destroying everybody. I don't know what's going on with them. They won 6-1. Good news for me, Eintracht Frankfurt and Tottenham drew 0-0. And then Liverpool beat Rangers 2-0, which is always a good
Hell
thing.
yeah.
Yeah. We always like to see a Rangers loss. At least 2/3 of the podcast does.
They'll take loss in their really nice jerseys.
Anyway, that was Tuesday. Anybody watching matches today?
I did. I
What'd
did
you check?
catch one.
Yeah, what'd you check out? Oh, you watched Chelsea
I
versus.
watched, yeah, Chelsea versus Milan. Honestly, it was actually a pretty good performance from Chelsea. They have taken a good start under Graham Potter. Potter ball is in full effect, and it was it was pretty decent to watch, pretty convincing. And a big like 3-0, that's a pretty big score line. I think that jumps them second in the group. The first goal off of a corner scored by
Fofana.
Fofana. Just a little fumble, and there was literally no Milan defenders in the box. There was like 4 Chelsea players closest to goal. So it was bound to go in, a little fumble, but it went in eventually. Aubameyang scored, which, whatever. I don't like to see it. I don't like Aubameyang.
Interesting.
Wow.
What's the Aubameyang hit about?
I just think, okay, well, actually liked him at Dortmund, and then I don't like anyone who goes to Arsenal. So
Okay. Wait, didn't Robin van Persie go to Arsenal?
he was from Arsenal. We took him from
Okay.
Arsenal, so that's okay. Because then he
Okay.
turned out to be my favorite player ever. So
you don't like Arsenal?
I don't like Arsenal.
Interesting.
The Arsenal fans out here this season, like praising because they're at the top. They've been at the top of the league. It's not gonna last. They haven't played anyone good yet. Sit down. Sit down.
Yeah,
I mean, man, you did beat them.
I think they were what? They had won 6 in a row until United beat them, and then now they're kind of back on a winning streak. But we're back to Chelsea, and then Reece James actually scored a really nice goal off of like an incredible angle, just sniped it top corner closest to the keeper, couldn't get it. And like it was pretty convincing. Milan had like a few decent chances, one right before the first half ended, but they really just couldn't solidify anything. I know they're missing quite a few players, but Potter ball is in full effect.
At some point, I want to get back into this Arsenal hate, that's interesting, but we won't do it now. Wait, Caesar, you said you watched a little bit of Real Madrid, right?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of Real Madrid's game. I actually had a note about Rodrigo's goal.
Okay, Caesar, make this last like 5 minutes, okay?
Okay. I'll say this about Rodrigo's goal. Real Madrid played Shakhtar. A reason I was excited to see this game, I wanted to see that the Ukrainian little baller they have there with the Jesus love tattoo on his neck and the infinity symbol. I'm down for that. The Jesus love infinity symbol, that's a hardcore neck tat. I can respect that. And it's in the crazy font. Hell yeah, dog. I like the clip art font. Yeah, he went out there. He does have a suspect haircut, but I'm not going to report it yet. They played Rodrigo's goal. I think for anybody that plays this sport, Rodrigo's goal is a great example on why you don't take too many touches in the box. Rodrigo's goal is all I did was put the touch in front of me and I just threw my leg on it because like a lot of people like to just be in like the perfect stance and perfectly set up to kick it. He just literally was falling off balance, but he just got the ball in front of him and swung his leg through it. And when you spend a lot of time trying to prepare yourself, you give the goalie time to prepare as well too. So his shot was just quick. The goalie had to react really quickly. It was a bad save, and the ball bounced off the Holly in space seeing this report too. So it bounced off and it went into the goal. I didn't see the second half, but I know after that Shakhtar scored and then Vinicius scored as well too. So Real Madrid ends up winning 2-1. I think that was an important win for them, especially after the tie they had this weekend against Osasuna, which has them tied for Barcelona, tied but above Barcelona La Liga right now. That's kind of 5 minutes, sort of. Bam, come on now, dog.
I think that was pretty good.
That wasn't bad, right? But yes, the Milan kid, the Milan those Letterman jackets are clean. Even though I don't feel like anybody in Italy knows what a Letterman jacket is.
I don't know why they'd be wearing a Letterman jacket in Italy, although it was I think it was at Chelsea.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think you guys
Sweet.
know what a Letterman jacket means or signifies or what it is. I don't think you guys know what varsity is.
Also, it was yeah, quite random. Milan and Off-White collab.
Yeah, that was very random. Because
A little random.
is it Milan Adidas or Puma?
They back to I forget. I think they're Puma.
No, I didn't know collab did. I didn't know Off White did Puma stuff. I thought they only like. I thought Off White only did Nike stuff. Maybe that changed or something.
Let me see.
Because I know Virgil did a lot of Off White Nike collaborations.
Yeah, yeah, they're Puma. So that is quite random.
But did you see that goal this weekend from Rafael where he chipped the goalie?
No.
Rafael had a goal this weekend. They won, I think, 3-1. He had a nasty chip. Oh my God.
Chip the
Jesus.
goalie in the box.
Oh, hardcore. Like it looks so effortless. He's just running on a fast break and just kind of like runs up to the ball, just doop, and just like easily lobs it up like over the goalie and starts walking to celebrate. I'm like, that's goddamn, that's nasty. That's
I love
such confidence.
when they do that and they just know it's going in.
Yeah.
Like no hesitation, like start celebrating right away.
I know, because it's just it's you're done for. It's an easy goal.
Yeah. I don't think
Um,
I don't think I've ever successfully chipped a keeper.
no, never tripped one. You've tried them though.
I've tried them, yeah.
What do you prefer? Do you prefer shooting outside the box or like in the box?
Outside. I love a long shot.
Really?
If I see an open net, like I'll just shoot.
Do you prefer like laces inside foot or outside the foot shots?
Lace.
Lace? You just
Yeah.
power on it? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Me,
Oh,
I feel like I'm pretty big, so I get a lot of power from inside the foot already. And also like I think players that are bigger, it's hard for them to get straight laces on shots. So I like to use the inside of my foot for like free kicks or long shots, and then I do love using my outside that foot. I love doing an away curler. Like if I'm running up on a goalie on the right side, I love doing an outside the boot so it hits the inside left corner. So it's like it goes like this into them, and they're like, oh, like one of those.
yeah. I
I
love
love
seeing
doing
those in
Even
the
though I miss
air.
them a lot. There's a lot of misses.
It's okay, they look cool.
They look sweet though, and it looks like scary. Like, oh God, whoa.
Yeah, it's like a knuckleball.
Yeah. Bam's favorite is definitely inside foot, and he's definitely a back healer. This man back heals a lot. He's a certified
Oh,
back heel.
I used to be a back healer.
Yeah, I do it a lot. I do it a pretty good amount. I'd say like I'll probably do one or two a game, maybe one.
I also used to be big on slide tackling, like for no
Really?
reason though, like for no reason, like inappropriate slide tackles, like all the time. Like I would just do it and they would work. Like I don't mean inappropriate as in like they would be like vicious or aggressive. I would just be like, that wasn't necessary, but I did it anyway. And it worked.
That's crazy because I was saying that when I used to play, I think like I used to like side tackling for a certain point. Then I think I got like too big and I just wasn't a fan anymore. I feel like it was just like too much work. So I think I just like I really enjoy shoulder checking people. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Like
Push
like
a good
if I
shove.
shoulder check someone and they kind of go flying, I'm like awesome. And I'm like, of course that's a foul on me, even though it's just body to body. But yeah, I'm down.
I always felt bad, like in like women's leagues, like it's all ages, right? And I'd be like early 20-year-old playing, and like they'd always whenever there was like a 30-plus-year-old on our team or like a 40-year-old, like a mom, we'd always put them as like a defender, right? Because like they're just there to have fun, but they can't, let's be honest, they can't really play.
That's a huge.
So so I'd always feel bad as like a winger, and this like 40-year-old mother is like their left back trying to defend, and like you want to shove, but you also like they're so fragile and small.
I've literally had.
Gotta do what you gotta do
I
to
play in
carry.
co-ed like that. We have older ladies, and like I remember one time I was in a game where an old lady literally was coming to play defense on me and trying to pick the ball out from under my foot. Like she's like attacking me defensively. I'm like, I'm trying to be good here. Like, just get away from me, please. So I'm running and she goes for one, and like I don't move because usually I do a lot of away movements so we don't connect on contact. I'm like kind of like avoiding them. But this time I was like, I'm just stay shoulders firm. And she came and just like I was here, she was like, and fell down, and she was like, "Oh my god! Like, why are you going so hard?" I'm like, "What? I'm just running in a straight line. I didn't go here. I didn't even go into you. Like, why are you attacking me? Like, we're just playing co-ed. God damn."
Yeah.
But that was like a
Always
long
fun.
time ago. And actually, what's funny after that, I stayed there for I still play there. I've been there for like 4 years with these ladies. It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
That is fun. I like co-ed.
Yeah, me too. No, I think I've played on a couple all men's 7-on-7 and stuff. But I don't really like it. The only all men's league I'll play in is futsal. Like I really enjoy futsal a lot. So I'll play that, or I'll play turf indoor, like 3v3, or 4v4, but full 7s or 11s men's, no, I'm done with men's league. So it's all pretty much co-ed.
Yeah, I play with work. They always like my work always joins a league. Like who's back?
Oh my god. That sucks because actually you left for a good. We talked so much soccer about how we played. You missed it though.
I heard something about unnecessary slide tackling.
Yes, Holly's like I show speed in that one YouTube short where he like took that dude out with the slide tackle.
The variety over here.
Yeah.
Variety. She gets a yellow card every match. She said.
Okay, did you guys talk more about Champions League or no?
No, we just talked about that. We finished the Real Madrid thing.
Finished Real Madrid, yeah.
Okay, yeah, Real Madrid 1-2-1. What did I watch? I watched a little bit of Leipzig versus Celtic. Leipzig was destroying them. It was kind of funny. I guess Salzburg beat Dinamo Zagreb. I was hoping to see the only time I'm ever cheering for an Israeli team, I was going for Maccabi Haifa against Juve just to prove myself right. But Juve did win. Although Maccabi Haifa was doing some damage for a little bit, it's just like their players are just, I don't want to call them dumb, but I'm just like, you got a bunch of over dribblers. Like, just like, they'll like, just one touch it, please, just sometimes. But I did get to see the worst corner kick I've ever seen in my life.
Bam. The over dribbling thing we had noted here too. That's like that was the good thing about the Rodrigo goal is that he literally didn't over dribble. He just took 2 dribbles and just put the ball he swung a leg on it, and then it made it happen.
I'm saying
even though the goalie touched hands on it, it still went in because the goalie was like not when you dribble out, the goalie gets to like wait for it and like prepare. He just took one dribble, was kind of falling, just swung his leg on it, and the goalie.
Did my internet go out or yours?
Probably mine.
Okay. Yeah, honestly, smart players don't over dribble. You know what I mean? The only time that works is in FIFA. And that's only because C's is doing it, and you can't tell him anything when he does it. You're not allowed to criticize Caesar in FIFA, but
this is going personal.
But yeah, I did get to see Di Maria do the worst corner kick I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, how does that even happen, dude? It was crazy. It just went it went out of bounds before it got to the box. Even I'm like,
is it like one of those that just went like here?
It just it's like he tried to kick it in the stands that like right there
in the near side stands.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
I'm like, how did you even do that? And the commentator was like, dreadful corner kick by Di Maria.
Damn, dreadful is an aggressive word,
right? BUB beat Sevilla. I think Lopetegui's gonna get fired. City beat Copenhagen 5-0. And a match that we probably wouldn't think is that big, but Benfica did draw PSG 1-1. I watched the last 15 minutes of that.
But all I saw was Messi goal highlights.
Yeah, Messi scored, and then
it was a nice goal they did though. Nice setup.
Yeah, it was bad defense. What's the name? Danilo Ex Machina had an own goal. But Benfica had some chances. I think late. I think Messi got injured, but I think late. It went into the kind of the old PSG where Neymar's just dropping way back to pick up the ball and bring it up, and it's like that's like
it's gonna happen every time.
Yeah, when they get into panic mode, it's just Neymar's gonna drop, and especially Messi's not there. Neymar's gonna drop way back, pick up the ball, try to bring it up, and it's like, dog, you got to play football, dude. You can't just try to do it yourself. Like that hasn't worked in the
He
past.
doesn't trust the midfield.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, dog, you got Verratti there, you got this other dude there. Like, you need to play with your team and not just like you bring it up, try to give it to Mbappe and just try to figure something out. But yeah, 1-1, and they're third in the group. Wait, yeah, they're third in the group now. They're behind Benfica and they're behind no, they're second. They're second.
Yeah, I was like, they
Yeah,
tied with
no,
Benfica. How are they
no.
behind?
I'm sorry, I was thinking about Barcelona.
Mhm.
Um
Barcelona second?
Barcelona's third. Where'd my phone go? And yeah, and at the end of the match, like Neymar started getting into it with some guy, and I think like one of the dudes like from PSG was like trying to like get him to come off the pitch. He's like, dude, like start. It's like some old man. He's like trying to like hold this like on the shoulder and trying to get him to go, leave the pitch. And then Neymar starts like barking on him, like get off me, like barking on that dude. And then like some other like official guy comes and is like, dude, like what are you doing? Like get out of here. That dude was like kind of big, so Neymar kind of backed down from him, but he was like really like barking on the old man. I'm like, dog, come on, yo. Like you barking, you being more aggressive with the old man than you were with the player guy. You were yelling at him walking away.
Sounds like you had a lot of energy to take that out on the match. You should have been playing with that energy, dog.
Yeah, well, yeah, he thinks going just pick the ball up from a center back and trying to bring it up by himself is smart, but um that's like where you just know like the coaches don't have any say. like like you're just watching them do whatever they want, dude.
And there's no like player authority respect either. Like it's just
At
like,
all.
Yeah.
At all. But let's go through the really fast to the standings. Napoli in Group A, Napoli and Liverpool are 1 and 2. Napoli the perfect record. Ajax third, but they're only 3 points behind Liverpool.
Ajax lost, right?
Yeah, bad
Yeah.
to Napoli.
Yeah.
Club in Group B, you got Club Brugge and at the top, perfect record, 3-0, 9 points. Porto and Leverkusen are behind them on 3 points, and then Atleti has 3 points, but they're in last place. Jeez, literally, Atleti's sitting fourth in the group.
Hope they go to Conference League.
Yeah, I don't know how it's going to work for the last place. I don't think so. I think it's just out.
Conference League action for them.
If they win Conference League, they'll talk about Simeone being the best manager in the world.
They'll talk about it being a major trophy.
Oh, absolutely. Group C, Bayern, perfect record. Inter on 6 points, Barcelona on 3 points, and then Victoria Pilsen, obviously no points. But yeah, we'll see. Barcelona will be playing Inter next week at home. So if Barcelona draws or loses, like they're definitely going to go to Europa League.
Ooh, that'd be so bad.
That'd be terrible.
That'd be really bad. They spend all that money to go back to Europa again.
Lewandowski's literally going to leave in January.
So De Jong was like, "No, I'm staying at Barcelona for Champions League football."
Yeah, I was like, really?
We'll see you on Thursday.
Along with?
Yeah.
What?
Along with? Man, you.
Oh yeah. We'll see you on Thursday.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I had to talk a little shit. Group D, damn. This one's tight. Sporting's on 6 points at the top. Tottenham and Eintracht Frankfurt have 4 points. And then Marseille's at the bottom with 3 points. But you know what I'm saying? It's looking good.
Every other team bottom is bad, but Marseille at the bottom is looking.
Yeah, no, but they just caught this dub, though. You know what I'm saying? Group E is actually even tighter. Red Bull Salzburg at the top with 5 points. Then you got Chelsea and Milan behind them with 4 points. And then Dinamo Zagreb on 3 points. So that one, who knows what's going to happen there. Group F, Real Madrid, top of the group, 9 points, perfect record. Shakhtar Donetsk is second with 4. Red Bull Leipzig third with 3, and then Celtic has 1 point. Red Bull Leipzig look really good against Celtic. I don't know what the hell they're doing in this group, but Group G, Cities, perfect record, 9 points. BVB sitting on 6 points. And Sevilla and Copenhagen both have 1 point. That's crazy. Sevilla wants to go to Europa. And then, Group H, PSG and Benfica both on 7 points. Juve with 3 points, and Maccabi Haifa with 0. Juve is going to be in Europa League along with Barcelona. But yeah, Champions League is looking pretty crazy. We got games every week. I feel bad for these players. Seen a lot of injuries this week. Hella in the Red Bull Leipzig games, like people's getting injured left and right. I think the goalie, he might have tore his ACL. I'm not sure. He was like going to just clear a ball regular, and he just like collapsed. Not like Erickson collapsed, but like his leg gave out.
That wear and tear is real.
For real.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, before we get into the NWSL, really quick, Holly, you know what I mean? You are an EPL expert. You're EPL ride or die, you know what I mean? Part of the Commonwealth up there, you know what I mean? You got the queen on your money.
King.
King now, you know what I mean? You don't have that Illuminati pyramid like we got.
No.
Erling Haaland is destroying EPL. This man got 14 goals in 8 matches. What are we doing here? 14 goals and 3 assists in 8 matches. He scored basically half of Man City's goals. They have 29 goals. He scored 14. City does have 2 draws. He scored in both of those. What is going on? Like, is this dude just gonna make EPL like? Is he just gonna make them look like fools? What's going on here?
Honestly, it feels like some sort of like FIFA hack or something. Like, there's no way this guy is like, I don't know how this is possible. I think he's scored in every game he's played for City except for one. I read this stat. So he's 9 goals away from last season's Golden Boot winning total, and there are 30 games left of the season. Like, I don't know how it's possible. He's running through every team he plays. Honestly, like when Haaland's first started like getting his name like out there, and when he went to Dortmund, I was like, okay, like he's obviously really good. But I was like, can he do it? It's always that question, like, can he do it at a big club in a big league? Like Bundesliga, you know, that always happens, especially like a player goes to Dortmund and they do really well. They make the move and then nothing really happens. But like,
they turned into Jadon Sancho.
Sorry?
They turned into Jadon Sancho.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Jadon Sancho's kind of popping off. He was a little bit. But I don't know if they'll be a team or like a player, or I don't think he's touchable this season. He's going to be breaking records, several records this season for City. And I saw a clip on Twitter keeps circling around again of Pep Guardiola last season talking about how Sergio Aguero is irreplaceable, but I think they found quite a good replacement. So I don't know what drugs this kid is on, but it's insane. He's on the good stuff.
It's really crazy, and it's the crazy thing about it is like I feel like his game has changed so much. Like he was at BVB, he was looking at more of the complete number 9 kind of player, and now he's like getting no touches, and he's just like totally fine. He's like, yeah, dude, like I barely touch the ball and I just score all the time.
But when I touch it though, it's gonna go in.
It's gold.
He said his goal, he said like what he wants to do in a match is have 5 touches and 5 goals.
5 goals. When he said that, I was like, that's literally the same mentality I would have when I was younger. I was like, I don't really care how many times I get it. If I just get it, I want to score immediately.
Immediately, not like right away.
No, I want every touch is a goal. That's the goal. Yeah. That had me dying when he said that.
Yeah, and I think like he's just embraced it. He's like, yeah, they're gonna do all the work up there, and they're gonna send it in. And I'm gonna score.
What was the telling point for Manchester City before? How many times have we done reviews where we're like, they just are passing the ball and they're plugging people like Bernardo and Sterling at like a center forward position because Aguero's hurt, and even Gabriel Jesus got so caught up in that he was becoming a winger. Like he wasn't even becoming a central player for them sometimes. So it was like the minute they got a guy who's commands a presence and respect in the middle, it's going to open up the game wide. And He's not a guy where you pass the ball and he's thinking I can still pass it for another open shot. He's like, if you pass me this ball, I'm gonna do everything I can to get it towards the goal. And even in that one crazy Dortmund goal where it's like this insane cross, he just threw his leg in the air and said, "I'm gonna do everything I can." And that takes a different type of mentality change, because when you have a game that's predicated on like being a part of the buildup as a 9 and being like, I'm gonna go total finisher where I'm gonna always position myself that no matter where I turn or where I'm at, I'm in a good position to swing it for a goal. That's a mentality change, and that takes work too. So like respect to him, because it takes like a lot of humility. It takes like work, and that made me like, honestly, I respect him for that. Like that's hard to do that kind of stuff, especially when you're young and you're turned up and like you can do it all. To be able to sacrifice a lot of that to just be a finisher for this role on a team, it's huge.
I
The only
think
thing I'm concerned about is that if he gets injured, like I don't think he has gotten injured very much in his career so
oh
far,
no,
but
he
like
has. He has.
Yes.
a lot.
He's
Yeah.
He
never played
missed
more than 30 matches
Yeah. He's never had a full complete season.
total in
in
all
a season.
competitions.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, okay.
like in the, we had talked about it a while ago. Like I think when he first went there, like if you look at his playing record, it's like
He's always in the 30s.
like in the league, it'll be like 20 something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
He
Well,
gets like
then like
little
that,
knacks and stuff and knee
uh,
issues.
then that's like somewhat concerning for a city then, because like they don't have Jesus, they don't have Aguero.
They have Julian Alvarez, who's a baller. He's different than Haaland, but he's a really good player.
Yeah, the concerning thing is that like your backup player isn't like a plug-in 9. You have like a different type of
He's
striker.
a different type of 9, yeah.
But I think it's also good to have different looks. I don't know.
It's tough. I mean, it's not like you could even get another guy like that. He's not like an everyday build. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're not really around like that. The first time I ever saw him run, I was like, damn, like people don't really play like that. That's something to look at. That's a good guy to keep your eye on. And obviously it's blossomed so much.
I think Pep got him young enough to where he's like Pep is like, just trust me, like, and I think that's Pep's like the good thing about Pep. He's like, just trust my system, and like if it doesn't work, it's my fault. You know?
He does take accountability.
He takes accountability, and the type of football he plays, like, yeah, you can't really blame the players unless it's Raheem Sterling, that time where he skied that one. No, I'm joking. But yeah, I think he was just like, look, like we just need you in the box. Like you got all these amazing players, like they're gonna take care of everything else, and they're just gonna look for you in the box. Like just sit there and poach and you'll be fine. Like we don't need you trying to like boom shots from outside the box. Literally on City, like 20, like the center back is like 27 yards out. Like he's so close to the goal already. They keep so much possession. They push everybody up so close. So he's like, yeah, just stand in there. You're gonna score hella goals. Like, and if when we draw these matches or whatever, like nobody's ever gonna blame you. And yeah, he's dominating. I mean, I'm gonna be real. Like, there's a thing that I'm always complaining about defense in soccer. Like, I don't know, y'all are very offensive players. Like, I don't know if y'all care for real, but I'm just looking like y'all like, why do you just like let him just be by himself? Like, if it's me, like Caesar, when we play, like when I play against you, I'm like, look, Caesar's a threat. Like, I don't do it because I know it's frustrating for you, but like I'm just like, let me just stand next to him. If he doesn't get the ball, then they are hindered,
If anything, you have a recognition that when you stick me defensively, pause, it does like it messes up the flow of the offense, right? Because when you have a primary like point of like contact, or this contact like changes, like creates things for people or does things offensively, you take that out of a game, it really affects the whole landscape of the offense. And it is curious to see I don't know about these Premier League clubs, because I don't really look at any Premier League club and I go, damn, that's a defensive juggernaut. I've never really seen
zero.
It seems very TV offensive turned up soccer, which I'm not mad at because I watch it. But maybe in Champions League, I want to see the first time they're really faced with a team that takes away that option. What does Man City do? Do they revert to their traditional style? what happens? You know, I
No-
want to know what happens in later stages.
Nobody's gonna like man mark in soccer. Like nobody's gonna
No,
do that.
no,
And I'm
no.
not saying that,
But at
but
least
it's
have like someone that intercepts that initial, or makes
You-
that pass hard.
you gotta have somebody that's like just around. Like, don't let it be so easy for them to get the ball to him. Like, make them when they look up to him, make them see you first and not him. You know, because then they might not make the pass. Even like the match against Dortmund, like when he got that crazy goal, there were players around him, and like that was just like his athletic ability to be able to get that ugly goal in there. No, I'm joking, but but it was also like they're letting Joao Cancelo just like wide open, like there's nobody challenging that cross
And he's a
at all.
crossing magician.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
you can't just like this is Man City, like you can't just let them have anything easy.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like defense in soccer is like it just doesn't exist. Like
There's no real good schemes. Like I don't see teams go, oh, like maybe if we make Haaland take an extra touch, that might impact everything offensively. You know, like
there's no
sometimes
such
if you make a player do one more move, that might ruin the whole rhythm for the whole offense.
there's no such thing as a defensive concept in soccer. Like concept, no. Like
There's
they're
a lot
not
of zone marking.
there's no idea like this is like our philosophy defensively.
Yeah,
These
you're
pundits
right.
try to say there's teams like that. I'm like, no, dude. Like they're just parking the bus. Like it's not like a concept, dude. Like Juve's blocking all these shots because they got hella people behind the ball. That's why. But when another team has like possession and there's like some flow, is there like an idea? Like I remember, was that last year? Yeah, Atleti played City. Yeah, I seen Kondobia like not letting players get the ball. Like I don't know if it was KDB or somebody else, but it was like he's not letting them get the ball. I've seen that happen before. Like I want to say it was like PSG and Man U a few years ago. I think it was like Marquinhos wasn't letting Pogba get the ball, and I was like, that's smart. Like you gotta like make them go somewhere else. If this guy's the threat, like make them go somewhere else with it.
Yeah.
Man, you ended up beating them over the tie. But yeah, I don't know. Haaland is dominating. He's ridiculous. But there's also this part of me is like, I don't think that he has to really be doing that. Like, did y'all just give up? Like, yeah, like did y'all just well, whatever, he's tall, man. Just like whatever, dude, he's gonna score. Like I don't really think, you know. Oh, I'm gonna ask you guys a question actually. Because I think they asked this on ESPN FC. Who do you think is harder to defend against, Haaland or Mbappe? And I want Holly to go first.
Ah, that's tough.
Like as a team, like who are you? Like who is the person you're like, damn, okay, this is going to be hard. Who's harder between the two?
I think it has to be Holland.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think a team like you're never going to see Holland in a player or team's back pocket. Like I just don't think we'll see it. It's like not this season in the EPL. I think he's just too good, and no team in the EPL knows how to defend a player like him, because I feel like there hasn't been a player like him in the EPL for a while. Someone that's been so adaptable in such a short period of time. And I won't be surprised if like Pep changes it up mid-season and we see something different from Haaland.
Puts him in the midfield.
Yeah. But I would have to say it's Haaland. I think Mbappe's not as hard to defend as it seems.
But that's your fellow winger, though.
I know, but I think a good center man is harder to defend than a winger.
All right, let's see what Caesar thinks. Because Caesar's definitely
I'm a center man. I'm a center man. I do love
Caesar, Caesar is a stand around 10-9.
Hey, whoa, stand around. I'm flexible. I can go either side. This is a tough question because it also depends on the physical attributes of the defender. I think that
Well,
I
no,
think
not 1v1. I'm talking about as a team. Like,
as a team,
yeah.
okay, well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna go as a team. I think Holland is difficult to defend, more difficult to defend. Just because I think there's so much physical variables that like that can really affect the back line. Like his size, where I think he can, and he has like a good amount of speed to where he cuts thin. He has like that downhill pace, which is like tough to really prevent. And he can kind of get into any spot he wants to. And not every single offensive possession is a counterattack based offense. And when you have even like that half line where you pass around trying to set up offense, if there's not a lot of room to get like running space to make something happen, I'd rather have a big guy like a Haaland where I can just throw it in there and he can make it happen no matter what. You throw it into Mbappe's not going to get you headers to score the goal in. Haaland can get you more options offensively to score, feet, leg, and body position. He's doing more offensively that he's able to score with. He has more tools in his bag. 1v1, no, I think Mbappe that's speed and agility and dribble is so insanely hard to defend. I think that Mbappe is harder one-on-one, but as a team, I think collectively it's harder to defend against a Holland, in my opinion.
Well, I'm gonna have to disagree with both you guys. I think it's harder for a team to defend Mbappe, um, because you also have the threat of him assisting players. Like, and he's 2-footed. He's crazy on the counter. He can get past anybody. Yeah, like I'm gonna be more scared of Mbappe as a team than I am Holland, just because honestly, like, there's a part of me that's like, y'all are giving up against Holland, dude. Like, come on, yo, like, just sit on his back a little bit. Like, put your back on him a little bit, dude. Don't just let him just float in space. Like, be a little like, even if he's bigger than you, you can still be physical against him, especially like especially with his positioning. Mbappe's way out there on the wing. Like, you gotta like, as a team, like, you either gotta double team him, which we've seen him get through that double team last year and score against Real Madrid, or you're like letting your left back or right back. You're letting your right back just out there with him, and he's got a family. Your right back got a family, dude. He's got homies back in his neighborhood, and then they're gonna clown him, or he's gonna have to foul Mbappe or something. I don't know. I think if I'm a coach, I'm more scared to go up against Mbappe than Haaland. If we're going up against Haaland, I'm grabbing my center backs and my midfielders, and I'm putting up him. I'm like, don't be scared, dude. Don't be over here acting like no punk just because he's big and he looks like Vigo from Ghostbusters 2. Big old ugly ass damn Norwegian.
I think it's a fair point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I disagree, but I can respect it.
Y'all don't know about defending though. Y'all don't know.
I don't know about coaching.
Y'all don't know about defending, dude. Both of y'all are. Holly was like defending. It's like this beneath her.
I was like center forward. I played that. I know I'm unstoppable.
Holly's like, nah, dude. I'm not trying to defend. Let me just slide tackle. If they get past me, it looks like I tried.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I can respect that more than what I do.
See, side tackling looks like you put in so much effort, but you really didn't. You just
I swear,
it's momentum.
I seen Weston McKennie slide tackle. I'm like, dude, you are lazy, dude. Like, keep on
It's
your
a bailout. It's such a
It
bailout.
is.
I'm like, keep on your damn feet, dude. Like, slide tackling, like, just you are hitting nothing, dude. Like, I don't know if they be knowing that that's lazy or not. I'm like, you are giving up, homie. But yeah, we'll see what Holland does. I mean, I like, what's his pace to score like 71 goals or something? Insane.
He has 28 goals in Champions League out of 22 matches also.
Jesus Christ, dude. It's embarrassing for soccer.
Okay, I don't want you to start making that point. Don't start making that point. Don't start making the point where, oh, the league looks bad or whatever.
It does, dude.
That guy can just be good.
Nah, yo.
That guy can just be good, by the way.
Nah.
No? Okay.
No.
So when Messi is dropping 50 goals, it's because La Liga's defense sucks.
Yes,
Well,
yes,
Ronaldo's doing the same thing. La Liga's look bad.
yes,
Oh,
yes.
come on, now they're just good.
Nah, they're good, but it ain't got to be that crazy.
Not everybody can be the old San Antonio Spurs, dog. It's okay.
Nah, dude, play some defense, dog. They don't want to play defense, yo. They're all like y'all. Yeah. Holly, hopefully one day you come play soccer with us. You're gonna see Caesar. And I guarantee
I'm not an issue, dude. I'm a good part of the offense.
Caesar,
I score.
yeah, you do. I'll give you credit, but when the other team got the ball, you're gonna see Caesar, and he's not gonna be able to
Oh,
like,
what do you want me to do? Play midfield also?
Caesar is standing there watching like
My inspiration was Brazilian Ronaldo, and I'm gonna live by that life forever.
I can respect it. I don't really know how you do that on the wing though. Like if you're trying to play on the wing, like I feel like you're supposed to defend though.
Winger's a lot of work.
It is.
But how do you get away with not defending then?
I just pretend I'm not playing winger.
No, I'm talking about Holly.
Oh, Holly? Oh.
I just pretend I'm not
Slide
playing
tackles.
with- Yeah, I slide tackle. That's my contribution.
Okay. Well, hit air, ball, or nothing, or ankle, whatever. That's right. Anyway, on to a more serious note. A couple days ago, there was a big report that was released. A pretty hefty investigation went into the National Women's Soccer League. I think this is, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure I read this somewhere. This is the third time they have tried a professional women's soccer league in America. The other two times, the league only lasted three years. And I think NWSL has been around for more than that. But I'm not sure how long. I should probably look it up. So, see, you look it up. You ain't doing nothing. Because I remember watching some like women's soccer matches like 5 years ago, but
I think it's been around at least for like 8 years or something.
Wow, 2012.
okay, 10 years. Wow.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, there was a big investigation that went into the systematic abuse in the NWSL. The report is crazy. It's really long. It's extremely detailed. Sally Yates when I seen that name, I was like, damn, I remember Sally Yates. She was all up in the government, but she conducted it, I'm sure, with help. I want to read some of the things from this Axios article. They kind of put it like they broke things down a little bit. It says the report details numerous instances of abuse across the league, vicious coaching tactics, manipulation that was about power, not improving performance, and a repeated failure by team executives and the league to respond to reports of abuse. Shameful. The report states that our investigation has revealed a league in which abuse and misconduct, verbal and emotional abuse, and sexual misconduct had become systematic, spanning multiple teams, coaches, and victims. It says abuse in the NWSL is rooted in a deeper culture in women's soccer, beginning in youth leagues that normalizes verbally abusive coaching and blurs boundaries between coaches and players. I remember we reported on remember Vancouver White, or it was like Canadian soccer.
It was the Whitecaps, yeah.
Yeah, that was a couple years ago, and that one was pretty crazy too. Among the gruesome findings, the report detailed a previously undisclosed encounter between then NWSL player Aaron Simon and Christy Holly, the male former head coach for Racing Louisville FC in 2021. Trigger warning. Per the report, it says she knew what to expect. When she arrived, she recalls Holly opened his laptop and began the game film. The coach told Aaron Simon, that he was going to touch her for every bad pass. And he did that. And Simon reports that he pushed his hands down her pants and up her shirt. When the video ended, she left. And when her teammate picked her up to drive home, Simon broke down crying.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The report comes a year after NWSL players began speaking about cases of harassment and abuse, often in the hands of male coaches. Some games got canceled, the league's commissioner stepped down, multiple coaches have been fired, and then some players have refused to take the field. And yeah, the full report was, like I said, was very detailed. And sadly, I mean, just on We Made It, like we've talked about different instances, Canada, Haiti, all over the world, including here in America. I remember, I want to say this was 2017. When was that when Hope Solo was running for USSF president? I feel like that was the first year of the podcast.
I think so. Yeah.
She was running for USSF president, and I remember she was doing some press at the time, and she talked about when she was hosting at the Ballon d'Or, and she said, I think it was like before she went on stage, it was like backstage, she said that Sepp Blatter grabbed her ass. And like, I remember like when that article was out, like anytime it was like on Twitter or like Facebook or something like that, you have like all these dudes like saying terrible things. It wasn't taken serious. Like I feel like the TV media and stuff like did not talk about it. And when she said that, she said like that stuff happens all the time in women's soccer. Like she's like she said, I can't remember verbatim, but she was saying like she was basically saying like every player I know has been like sexually abused in some way by a coach or like some guy, staff or whatever. And I'm glad that it's finally getting more light shed on it. But yeah, it's been a big problem for a long time.
Yeah, I don't think it's right when women in the space, especially in a lot of these professional spaces, come out and say that they've been assaulted of some sort and then it's just memed or mocked about. I don't think that's cool. Like the Hope thing, like regardless of your opinions about Hope Solo and as a soccer player or viewpoints, I think when a woman comes out and says that she was assaulted by somebody, I think it should be taken very seriously. And I don't think it was like a funny thing or like a clout grab and thing that's not cool. Like no matter what, it deserves thorough investigation and it deserves to like be looked at in a serious light. So when people meme about it, I don't think it's right because that silences victims in the future, you know? That article is insane. There's like a really good Twitter thread too, I think on one of those sites that like describes a lot of like, if you don't want to read the whole thing, they paraphrase a lot of really points. There's a good Twitter thread on it too. And it's a shame to see like, you know, big advocate for like women getting their own independent sports leagues and seeing this NWSL stay around more than 3 seasons is great. I know they had some wild situation before where in 2020 they restructured the whole league, so it's like I don't know if it's now owned by USSF or it's like owned by the teams now. Like they restructured it to make it more profitable so the league can last longer. But really horrible to see that there's been a lot of women that were just in the light, especially we're coming on the cusp of everything that happened in gymnastics too. And that happened that case with the doctor there. And it's really upsetting to see that consistently in professional sports organizations and leagues that women participate in, there's people that are violating and sexually harassing them and abusing them. And I think there needs to be some kind of change that happens. I think some change that happen because, you know, we can't see a consistent pattern. If the pattern is being consistent, then we need to talk about doing some kind of change in order to make it so, you know, this can't happen anymore because it's ridiculously unacceptable.
Yeah, it is pretty awful. And I feel like with all that coming out, like the NWSL has gone through like a lot, especially recently. And it's just sad because it always takes more than one player to come out and share their experiences for there to be actually action taken upon whoever's doing these types of things, which is not something you want to see. There shouldn't be multiple people to back someone up, you know, like if one player came out and share their experience, it should be looked at no matter what. And I don't know how a league like that or any league really can go about changing changing things. Like there's no real way to tell if someone's going to be doing this. Like you do a background check. This not really doesn't always mean they're going to find something. You know, do you only hire female coaches and GMs then? Like is it going to have to take that much of a serious, like drastic change for this to completely stop? But then you don't want, like, there's just so many pros and cons of what you can change, but you know, something does need to change definitely, and like action needs to be taken upon.
They were saying that it was some of the women coaches were violating players too. Like I don't know if it was like sexual assault, but like definitely there was like verbal abuse and just kind of like taking things too far, it seems like. And sadly anybody can perpetuate the patriarchy, male or female.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just unfortunate that women are just like never safe. Like you're in this environment, like you made it to this professional rank, you worked so hard, like you're surrounded by like your colleagues, and you would hope that your coach isn't just like I don't know, like just using the players as some kind of stepping stone or like whatever. Like they're actually caring for them because they know the difficulties of women in sport or like how hard they have to fight and things like that. Um, but I mean, we got like real predators in the sport, and yeah, like you said, like it's just unfortunate that it always takes more than one person to come out and say this person's violating me. It's got to be like a whole big, like I'm sure USSF paid like $5 million for this report to be done, and it takes all that when it could just be like, hey, like this guy is like doing this stuff. You know, coaches and team executives and stuff, like they're responsible for the culture of the club. And obviously, like this guy, this Christie, I forgot his name, at Louisville, like you're creating a culture of fear and like tyranny when you're able to violate somebody in that way and like they're not comfortable like telling right away, you know? It's just really terrible. And yeah, it just sucks that women have to go through things like that on that level in sport.
Also, they're responsible for player safety.
Yeah.
And these are like these are consistent direct violations of that. So players are obviously destroyed by a power dynamic where they don't know what to do. And then the people that are supposed to look out for them are berating them or like threatening them or making them worse. So there's no avenues for them to go to. So it's a horrible situation to be in, especially when you finally reach like the apex of the sport you play in, which is literally professional top league and TV contract soccer. Like it's absolutely disgusting.
Um, how personal can we get on here? Can we get personal or no?
Yeah.
Holly, have you ever faced any kind of creeps in your time playing soccer?
I mean, like, to be honest, they're like creeps are everywhere. I don't know if I can say I face it in soccer, but like whether it's a job or anything, like you've or like even at school, like you face like it's just always like authoritative figures that like think they can do these things. Even like with Hope's like example, like um just like a smack on the butt, like in sports it's a common thing, it happens, like guys do it all the time. In baseball you see it, whatever, football, but it's always taken in a different context when a male does it to a female. Like it's just, and it's simple things like that, like that's happened to me, and you're like, oh, okay, like you kind of brush it off. Like, is it just like a, oh, like good job type of thing, or is there like some little message in there, like a different reason for why they did that? So, I mean, I've definitely faced it. I think any female can say because harassment can come in any form, whether it's like, even just like unwanted comments. So
What about that the school you went to, the sports like broadcasting? I would imagine the culture there was interesting. I would imagine.
yeah, so I mean, honestly, it was like you said, sports broadcasting school, and there were not many females, teachers or students. I think in my year, out of a total of 40 people, there was about 7 of us, including me. And I've kind of kept in contact with some people from that school, and I think ever since my year, like the numbers have just gone down.
Yeah.
Not many females enrolling in the course, and there was really only 2 female teachers when I was in there. And honestly, like I can say from like teachers and like my peers, I didn't really experience anything like that. I think it's because everyone who taught there was in the industry
Oh.
or had been in the industry. And I mean, honestly, I could say it was pretty professional. Like you went there, you had a good relationship with the teachers, but it was nothing ever like that. And I could say the same for my work now. I work for like a sports broadcasting company. I've never been in an uncomfortable situation. I feel like that unfortunately is pretty rare, I'm sure. And like I don't doubt that further along the line I might experience something again in this like male dominated industry.
Mhm.
But there just has to be outlets for people, and not to be afraid to speak up if something happens, even if it's just one thing that you think is minor. I think it should always be brought into like it should be brought up to someone that you trust that is in an authoritative figure, and so nothing goes silenced again. I think the same needs to happen in like professional leagues as well.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think of like solutions or like something that could happen to make some actual change, and maybe they need some kind of like independent liaison between the players and whoever, like the actual law authorities. I don't know, like someone who can like who is not connected to the league that will take these things into consideration, do their investigation, and then report to like the proper people. Because if it's I read some article with Alex Morgan, and she was talking about another player that she played with, and there were some things going on, and just natural, a player doesn't want to get cut or doesn't want to get fired or whatever. Like, so there's that pressure of like, okay, if I say something, like I'm not gonna play, or I'm not gonna or they're gonna cut me or whatever. Like, it's professional sports is your every day is not guaranteed. So if the players might be afraid to say something to the general manager or the owner of the team, if there's someone independent who can maybe like keep things anonymous or whatever until like it's time to get rid of this person. I don't know. Maybe that could work.
I think so too. And if they work directly coinciding with the NWSLPA, the Players Association, which is their recognized union, if you could have like the union work directly with the liaison office where like they could be an independent body to review some of the claims that a player can go to their union, and the union rep or the representative within union can talk to this person. It could keep it like, I think it could be a not obviously 100% prevent it, but create a much safer environment, and create a better way for where the female players don't feel as if they have to worry about overpowering dynamics, everything, because they're protected with like those having those both those parties as their backs, and obviously player unions are only as powerful as the league is, and NWSL is not a very powerful big league in America, and that's only going to mean that the people at the top are, obviously have much more resources and money than the players and the medium. So it can be tough, and if they can strengthen, it'd be cool like that too. But I think Lee's gonna be great.
Yeah, I wonder like how comfortable the women are with like going to the union because I don't know, but
It
like
depends how good that union is. I don't know
yeah,
what their union's
or,
like.
or if the union is like bringing those things up to the players themselves, like hey,
Mhm.
if there's some creeps around, like let us know, we'll take care of it.
Yeah,
Because it almost seems unfortunate that it had to go to this whole report for something to be done
that's what I'm saying.
or
I'm
to
like, if you
like
have a
be
union,
known.
it's shocking it had to go this far. You couldn't have an internal situation at all. Hmm.
Or just be like, yeah, like whenever it happens, like, yeah, hey, union, like this dude is like doing some crazy shit over here. You need to get
The
him out of
union should
here.
be blasting people online. That'd be great. Just posting
Yeah.
stuff like, yo, like, damn, that'd be intense.
Yeah. And honestly, I mean, it's not like I'm up on everything happening in the NWSL.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not paying attention to it that much to know. But like, I mean, I see some people on Twitter talking about it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if like an independent person connected to like each team or the league itself can do something because yeah, these especially in American sports, like it's all about greed, like it's
Yeah.
really greedy and these people are like in these top executive positions, like they're just concerned about making a dollar usually. We already know the USSF mafia is literally the worst. See, you gotta go. You're looking around and shit. What the hell? Just go. Just go. Just do that.
Hey,
Just
love
turn.
you guys. I
Yeah.
love you guys. I gotta go. I love you guys.
All right.
All
Stay safe.
right.
Stay safe on the beach there.
Sit-
Hey, hero.
Hero.
Love you guys.
How'd
I'll
you
see you
swim?
guys.
How'd you walk on the water?
Yeah. Hey, well, you asked a lot of questions.
Hero of heaven.
Yup, the legend on Apex.
All right,
I'll
man.
see you guys.
Yeah, we're
See
gonna
ya.
talk about you now.
Okay, I'm down. I'm gonna listen.
Um, but no, I don't know. What do you think, Holly? Like, do you feel like an independent kind of like? Do you think that could make some change? Because I don't know. We need answers, kind of.
I think it's a start.
Yeah.
Because yeah, like I honestly can't really think of any other sort of solution that is logical and that would make sense for things to change. But yeah, if they had some sort of like it took so much to get to, like it went so far to get to where we are now. Like so many players had to come out. And it felt like it was just like a domino effect. Like, and that's usually how it is because someone speaks up and then other people feel brave enough. But like there needs to be, like something needs to happen a lot sooner. And if they had someone to talk to, like some sort of rep, then I think it would be a lot easier for the players and for the league to deal with these types of situations.
Yeah, like somebody compassionate. I feel like I'm thinking about like and like I'm sure they do it in the NBA, but I know for sure in the NFL, like there'll be like a rookie symposium and they're telling them, this is what to watch out for and this is what you need to be doing with your money and whatever. I feel like when you're talking about women's professional sports, like there needs to be like, hey, if there are some creeps in the training or the coaches, this is who you talk to and we'll take it serious. If it happens one time you feel uncomfortable, this is the person you need to talk to,
Mhm.
and do that away from the coaches and the staff and the trainers and the executives. Like those players need to feel empowered and comfortable with speaking about these things. There's a part of me that's just like, are they taking the steps? Were they taking the steps before? Because these are adults, like too. Maybe somebody's like, oh, like they should know already. Like maybe somebody has that mentality, but No, yeah, I feel like, yeah, they're adult professionals, so they want to keep their job. So that's even more reason to let them know, like, you shouldn't just be putting up with anything because you want to keep your job, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, like, we're talking about a professional sports league, so like not only is it uh these players' job, it's also their like number one passion. And like
Yeah.
I've heard so many players come out and say that like stuff like this like completely drains them of that passion, because not now you're either afraid, uncomfortable, or just like numb to now playing the sport because of other things that are happening off the pitch. So like I'm sure coaches go through some sort of sexual conduct or misconduct course, or have to sign some sort of paper like you do at like jobs and stuff. But like that, at the end of the day, those don't mean anything. Like that's not enough. And I feel like leagues are like, oh, we had this course for the coaches and the staff. Like that's, but like then that's not really going to do anything. People are still going to do what they intend on doing, because I do
Yeah.
think it's obviously intentional
Yeah.
and they know what they're doing. So
Yeah, and they're going to do what they feel like they can get away with. And I'm sure that, they look for the weak player, like the person that's like they think won't tell. And yeah, I mean, hopefully there's a purge of these really toxic people. And hopefully it doesn't end up being like, well, we had to do this thing so we can't play next year, or like hopefully the players aren't punished for speaking out. Um like I mean, it's a bit off topic, but I remember like kind of in the height of the Me Too movement, like you'll hear these idiot dudes being like, yeah, I'm not even gonna give a woman a hug no more. Like, I'm not even gonna like say her outfit's nice. It's like, dude, like really? That's what you got from all this?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
people are talking about being sexually assaulted. You got like, I'm not gonna give somebody a hug. Like, you sound guilty. You sound like you did something to somebody before. And you don't want to get even closer. Like, I don't know, dude, but like,
yeah,
like hopefully what happens is these women are able to continue playing in a more comfortable environment, and they don't get any kind of like punishment by whoever heads NWSL actually.
hmm
But sadly, abuse in soccer is rampant. We talked about there's been multiple teams come out with like abuse scandals at academies. Um, And yeah, it's been wild, and big teams too. And they had a whole hotline in England, like if you were abusing your academy, like call this hotline, like, and it was like going crazy. Um, so yeah, we need less
wow.
creeps in sports. But well, going from that to another, I guess, sad situation. But they're trying to bring some light to it a little bit. They're trying to, your boy Volodymyr Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, the the currently a war hero to some extent, he came out and said that Ukraine is going to bid to host the World Cup in 2030. Ukraine is coming out. They're going to bid. They're going to go up against Spain and Portugal. They're going to go up against the powerhouse of Egypt, Greece, and Saudi Arabia, which Holly can't wait for. And they're going to put their bid in to host the 2030 World Cup. He's like, look, in 8 years, it's gonna be fine. We're gonna be backlit. What do you think about this?
I mean, I found it pretty interesting, especially since their bid is with it's with Spain and Portugal, right? So be
No, I think it's by
it's a
themselves.
oh, it's against.
Yeah. Oh no,
Uh,
no,
uh,
you're right. Oh, it is. Okay. What?
it's which is kind of doesn't make sense, right? Like,
Never
but
mind. I thought I didn't even notice this. I literally thought it was like them by themselves. If they're trying to do Spain and Portugal with Ukraine, like, that's ridiculous, dude.
right, like I was like trying to think. I was like, they're not even, that's not even close. Like that is quite insane. And I just feel like they're joining Spain and Portugal because they're somewhat favorites to actually get this World Cup bid.
Yeah.
I mean, in 8 years, if they think everything's stable enough to go for it,
Okay.
maybe.
Okay. Okay. We live in North America. Like we live in some really big countries. So like, it's just like, okay, from here to New York is like 5 hours. So I'm thinking like Lisbon to Kiev is probably like 8 hours, but it's actually only 5 hours.
Oh, okay.
So
You're right. I guess I always compare it to like what traveling in North America would be. Sometimes that could be a lot.
yes, I mean, because we're like, I guess from like LA to Toronto is like five, probably like 6 hours or so, like 5, 6 hours, like 5.5 hours basically. So when we're thinking like, okay, you're talking about whole countries, like yeah, they're not that big, but like, come on now. But yeah, it's only a 5 hour flight, so
It's
hey,
it still just doesn't make sense to me. Like even the 2026
agreed.
World Cup, like all that travel on top of training and the intensity of like the tournament, I just think it's not smart.
No, I agree. I mean, I'm literally just thinking of climate change. It's like you really want to be burning all the plane miles just for like this tournament. Just put it in a small country, dude. Like it's fine. I don't even think it should be in America or Canada. It's too
No, I
big.
don't. Yeah,
Like even Mexico is huge. Like if you're gonna do it in Mexico, just like you can't do that. But I would say like just do it like central to southern Mexico, but that's not really fair. But Mexico's too big. Like you got to put in Brazil's too big. Like put it in the smaller countries so there's not as much travel.
agreed.
But yeah, I mean, it's that's from Lisbon, so I guess like Barcelona is probably like 4 hours. It's not really that crazy.
It's not. I was picturing it being a lot more, but
I was thinking like an 8 hour flight,
yeah,
but
that's what I was thinking too.
look at us, we're terrible. Hey, okay, so now here's the question. Would you rather have Spain, Portugal, Ukraine, or Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Greece?
I still think it should be in Uruguay.
Okay, or what? Well, actually, I looked at that one, and it's supposed to be like Uruguay. It's like four countries. It's like Uruguay,
Yeah,
Paraguay, Chile, and somewhere else, which I feel like that's also insane.
it is insane, but I think it should be for like that 100 year, like the century mark of like
Yeah,
not 100 actual tournaments, but like
yeah, the 100
um
years.
yeah, 100 years of it being around. I think it should be kind of brought back to that.
Okay, okay. Well,
But if I had to choose, we discussed this last time, right? The like Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and
Greece.
Greece aren't that far either.
No, from like the longest flight is 4 hours. Like Greece to Saudi Arabia is 4 hours. Greece to Egypt is probably like one and a half, two.
I feel okay, I feel for like a fan perspective and like a general media coverage perspective, I would say Spain, Ukraine, and
Portugal.
Portugal. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if we were going to cover it, like it'd be a good excuse to go to Ukraine. I'd be like, I'm kind of down, like whatever. Like, but if it was Spain and Portugal or Greece, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, I'd rather do that one. I'd rather do that one because it's gonna be more turned up. But when you add Ukraine, I'm like, okay, like this kind of cool. Like we could go check it out. You know what I mean? Like, hey, dude, like, how bad was it? Um, but yeah. Anyway, we made a podcast, episode 274. Always got something to learn, and we made it. We're gonna stop this. We're gonna talk shit about Caesar. No, I'm just joking. Make sure you follow Holly on Twitter. You know, She's over there doing her thing. Make sure you follow Toronto Bays on Instagram and TikTok. You know what I mean? They're out there doing their thing. You know what I mean? They're out there
I
like
know.
beating up people. You know, like stabbing people. On camera.
Oh my god.
And people
I'm not
with
top
chairs.
5.
Ooh. Anyway, we made a podcast. Holler.
Yeah.